Good afternoon. My name is Jeffrey Croft. Thank you very much for coming out on this beautiful, beautiful day. Today we are calling on the Mayor and the Parks Commissioner Silver to cancel the concrete boardwalk plan and conduct an environmental review. The city has continued to ignore public safety concerns that have arisen after Hurricane Sandy by proceeding with an irresponsible Bloomberg-era post-Hurricane Sandy plan. This despite repeated requests for the city to perform an environmental impact statement so that safety can be assured. They have refused. This is irresponsible. This mess was caused by not listening to the community and going behind the backs to strike a behind-closed-door deal that allowed the funding to go forward. This is unacceptable. This was all completely avoidable. The Parks Commissioner was told by two local council members not to proceed with any construction until the designs were worked out with the community. Obviously, this was ignored. The Parks Department has a history of ignoring this community and dismissing their concerns. This has gone on for far too long. For decades, the city has refused to properly maintain the boardwalk, which has consistently put the public safety at risk. We fully share in this administration's stated promise of enabling communities to determine their own fate. Community-based planning and consultation were supposed to be the major difference between the current and prior administrations, yet this has not happened here. This is certainly about park equity and fairness. What is so hard to understand? The community does not want concrete. This plan is not about resiliency, it is about spending the money. The Parks Department made a mistake by allowing construction to begin, and now the plan must be fixed. The agency has to abandon this Bloomberg-era plan. Thank you very much. First person I'd like to introduce is Council Member Mark Traeger.
I'd like to thank my colleagues in government. I'd like to thank the die-hard fans of the Boardwalk who braved the elements to be here today. This is an issue that runs far deeper than just simply wood versus concrete. This is an issue of disrespect to this Southern Brooklyn icon for far too long, and that ends today. Yay! It is disrespectful and shameful to destroy a large section of the boardwalk and then come to the community and say, we're here to listen. That's not the way government is supposed to work. The bottom line is this. This is a globally recognized iconic structure that draws millions and millions of visitors each year. If people wanted to travel down a concrete path, they have plenty of choices around Manhattan and elsewhere in the city. But that is not why they come down here to Coney Island and Brighton Beach. And for far too long, they have neglected this structure in the form of people seeing boards missing, nails sticking out, people falling through. And all we're asking for is our fair share, our respect. And the way they have conducted business this year has been unacceptable, disrespectful, and we will not stand for it. Right. There are two things they say why they favor concrete, and let me rebut both of them. Number one, they say that concrete somehow will be more resilient. Well, tell the people in New Orleans that their concrete levees were more resilient in the face of Katrina. Tell the people in Seagate that their concrete bulkheads were more resilient in the face of Sandy. The true answer is Mother Nature will destroy anything that gets in her path. So don't give us that. Number two, they say in the name of cost savings. Well, I have something to say about that. We might not have the median income of the neighborhoods that might surround Central Park or Prospect Park.
That's right.
But we matter just like them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Would anyone dare to suggest that we convert the grass in Central Park to fake grass in the name of cost savings? No. Why? Because their history matters, but so does ours. Our history matters. So not only are we saying no to concrete, not only are we saying we want to preserve this boardwalk, but we are also here to say to make us a scenic landmark, just like Central, just like Prospect Park, just like Ocean Parkway, just like Eastern Parkway. I don't think of anything more historical than the famous Riegelman, Coney Island, Brighton Beach Boardwalk. Are you with me?
Yes!
This fight rages on. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you. Next person I'd like to bring up is Councilmember Hiram Dortch.
Yay! Hero!
Thank you very much.
Yes, my staff.
We're all here today in this rainy day for only one reason. We live and care about this neighborhood. And we care about the future of our boardwalk, don't we?
Yes.
In the year that I have been elected representing the residents of the 48th Council District, I have been impressed by the commitment and passion that my constituents have demonstrated in advocating for their community and their neighbors. I am here with you today to speak about our concern for the safety of the people of this district, many of whom are still recovering from the destruction that Hurricane Sandy wreaked on our city more than 2 years ago. I, along with my colleagues in government, have continuously requested that an environmental impact statement study be conducted in regards to the work being done on this boardwalk. An EIS study is used as a decision-making aid as it helps to determine environmental positives and negative effects for a particular project. The National Environmental Protection Act often requires an EIS study for actions that significantly affecting the quality of human environment. I strongly believe that a study such as this is vital in determining that a drastic change of the Sworden Boardwalk is the most resilient for our communities and the surrounding communities, the residential and commercial areas adjacent to the boardwalk. The wood versus concrete debate is not a new one for this boardwalk. Prior to Hurricane Sandy, in October of 2010, Parks began a pilot program to replace certain wood from sections of the boardwalk with concrete and recycled plastic bumper slabs. No resiliency studies were conducted up until this day. After Sandy, there were evidence that established that the sections of the boardwalk that were wooden had actually stemmed the floodwaters, and the damage was more severe at the concrete portions of the boardwalk. In March of 2013, Community Board 13 requested a moratorium on any work to the beach and boardwalk until engineering and environmental studies were done. Up until this day, no moratorium was put into place and no resiliency studies were conducted. In May of last year, 4 of my peers in the New York City Council joined me in echoing that request. We asked that a moratorium be put in place until engineering and studies were completed on this boardwalk. As of today, no resiliency studies were conducted. A few weeks ago, the Parks Department began the project of changing sections of the boardwalk to concrete. Still, more than 2 years after Hurricane Sandy, no resiliency studies have been conducted. It is irresponsible and dangerous to pour millions of dollars into work that has not been determined to be the safest and most environmentally sound. This project certainly falls into the category of affecting the quality of human environment that is recommended. To have an EIS study, environmental impact study for our boardwalk. As people who live, work, and raise families next to this boardwalk, we deserve to know that this project will further safety, not hinder it. We deserve to know that if, God forbid, there is another large storm, we won't suffer the way that we did after Sandy.
Yes.
Once again, I appeal to our administration to halt this project in order to conduct a EIS statement impact study for our boardwalk. The safety of our community depends on it. And let me tell you something, that during Hurricane Sandy, I have been here firsthand for weeks, being here with the people, climbing the stairs of the high-rise buildings, delivering food, heaters, and all necessities needed for this community. I have seen the sand piles. I have seen the waters. I have seen several feet of water and how people were suffering, crying each day, begging for help when the city services were not here. But the volunteers, our community, were here for them. So if we, as a community, we were together, we were united, we were helping each other to get by what we went through during Hurricane Sandy, and we're here today, standing here once again, united to make sure that our communities are protected. We must continue to fight. We must continue to be united no matter where we live, no matter where we reside. We must stick together to ensure our public safety is in the front line and foremost to make sure that our well-being and our safety and our concerns and our quality of life are addressed appropriately. Thank you so much all for being here.
The next person I'd like to bring up is the Borough President, Eric Adams. I just want to say, I just want to say one thing. We just got 2 new crews. Do you guys need time, or are you guys okay? You guys are okay? All right. All right. I'd like to bring up Borough President Eric Adams.
Thank you. And it was brought to my attention that there's a sign here that says support the concrete. And we should not despair over a minority voice. In fact, the mere fact that there's only one sign here saying that, and there's over 75 people who are saying the opposite, states that the majority of this community has spoken. Let that one sign stand, because it's a clear understanding how we overwhelmingly support the boardwalk remaining the way it is and repaired accurately. So we don't want to stymie the small voice of the minority over the overwhelming voice of the majority that understand how this boardwalk is a magnet that attracts the diversity of this community. Any given day, you can sit in the stands or you can sit on the sand and you can watch the various groups that comprises this beautiful mosaic of a community. And we cannot thank Councilman Traeger and Councilman Haim Deutsch enough for staying on top of this issue. And as the Borough President, they have my ultimate support. The song is under the boardwalk. It is not under the concrete. That's right. That's the song. We need to be clear of that. And everyone needs to be above board on how we are going to move ahead with this conversation. I'm so proud of this community. I'm so proud that you understand that government must adhere to your wishes. You don't adhere to government wishes. And they thought they could write you off. They thought they could ignore you. They thought that you would silently allow your entire community to go through a transformation without you raising your voice. Well, they were wrong. Sandy Heat couldn't stop us. So rain today is not going to stop us. And slow bureaucracy is not going to stop us. We will move forward with the team of both your councilmen here. Our public advocate has joined this fight. The controller has joined this fight. We are concerned about what we are trying to do in Coney Island. This year, for the first time, Councilman Traeger and I teamed up to bring the ball drop to Coney Island. Thousands of people came out. Brooklyn is not a downtown borough. It is a borough that goes throughout the entire borough. One Brooklyn we're talking about. So if we are concerned about having adequacy and development in downtown Brooklyn, then you better believe we need to have it here in Brighton Beach just as well. And nothing speaks louder to that development. Nothing speaks louder to draw and attract people. Nothing speaks louder than ensuring that our shops and our restaurants are all used and employment comes to the borough. Nothing speaks louder to ensuring that Coney Island retains its uniqueness better than the boardwalk that we have. We don't want to convert to a concrete jungle when we have a beachfront with a beautiful boardwalk. Leave our boardwalk alone.
Thank you very much. That was awesome. As usual, we're very happy to bring Letitia James, our public advocate.
Truth to power. Let's go.
So this is the boardwalk of my youth, where I would roller skate on the boardwalk, where I had a couple of cheap dates on the boardwalk, or under the boardwalk. So this is an iconic structure, and we've got to preserve our history for generations to come.
Yes.
It's a special place, and I argue that concrete is best left for sidewalks and cemeteries.
That's right.
And this is a place full of life.
Yes.
Full of life.
Yes.
And my next point is, I was elected 2 years ago with the de Blasio administration who plowed